newcomers, and welcome back, my fellow Aeternians. As always, it's me, Emperor AP. Today, I am here to talk about a few different important things, but primarily today is a check-in. I want to see how everyone is doing, and I want to just kind of have an informal discussion about the Empire, about its future, about micronations, and about what our strategies are going to be to combat and work with all of these things together. There are so many changing dynamics in the world. There are so many things that happen each and every day that the Empire, and really any nation, has trouble keeping up and staying on top of and ahead of each and every different change. So our strategy as a small nation for trying to get engaged and trying to develop is starting from scratch and building our base. What I mean by that is we are trying right now to set the foundations for our government. We have had a government over many years that has been built and added to and pieced to by individuals who come into the Empire, take on a role, succeed in amazing ways and provide us incredible benefits, and then take their leave of absence. They have some issue in their life or something that comes up, and they have to depart from Aeternia for a while. That being the case, we need a way to now take all of that benefit, take all of those foundational elements that have been kind of separately built and separately developed, and put them all together into one thing for our people. So that's the idea. Right now we're trying to set that foundation, make sure it's really stable, and that is by starting to put the right people in place. So we have a few citizens that I am excited to announce will be taking part in this endeavor. And there will be many more to come, certainly. So what I want to discuss is I'm going to name those people. I'm going to describe a little bit about those positions. And then I want to move forward into discussing the situation here at Talon and Vine Farm and how that's going to connect in with what we've been trying to do at Vitae and how that's all into one solid effort to move forward. So without further ado, the first person that I would like to mention is our only James. James Worrall. He was previously an ambassador for the Empire of Aeternia, speaking to many micronations, connecting, and trying to build our reputation in the community. So James served us last year for quite a number of months, and then took a leave of absence to serve in Ukraine. So this was a crazy thing. He decided, he felt in his heart that it was his duty to go and help the people of Ukraine. So he takes his leave of absence, wearing the arrow of progress on his arm, serves the people of Ukraine, comes back. When he comes back, he is now in a position, and this is as of the last couple months, he is in a position now that he's eager to get back to things and to help us build. As that is intersecting us, as we have this amazing, happy, feel-good story, James is coming back, he's reuniting with us, he's safe, he's okay, he's back with his family. We now have this other intersection of us developing local connections. So we have one friend who has been a citizen for the last couple years, and that we really just have not engaged as heavily as we should have and developed participation with, and that is Joey. So Joey, one of our most fun citizens, one of our most interesting citizens, a cool guy to boot. He has been a part of the Empire for quite a while. Of course, a personal friend before that. But just because of the distance that he lives from us, it was difficult to get things going and have any kind of local development. And him, not being connected in the same channels as us, not really making the effort to go out of our way to include him in our Discord server and in the inner workings of Aeternia, that relationship just didn't build enough. And so now we are coming to Joey and saying, hey, that's on us. We want to develop that. We want to get that bigger and better. So we are trying to work with Joey now. We have him actually in a position that works incredibly for the same issue we had with connecting with him locally in the first place, which is his distance to us. Being that it's difficult for us to get out to Vitae, our capital territory, this place that we want to develop for people to eventually live, it was really fortunate that Joey ended up over there. Joey is our most local citizen to Vitae, He's still some distance from it, but not nearly as far as we are. And so Joey, having that coupled with his previous experience as an EMT, Joey is a great guy to be able to head start one of the new houses for the Empire. So the Empire's government is, of course, the Emperor, and then houses below that that are equivalent to ministries in many other governments, where they are specifically delegated tasks. They are trying to oversee large sections of the government or of populations' special interests. So what Joey is going to be spearheading is the House of Solace. Right now we have the House of Treasure, which is basically like our economics finance ministry. We have the House of Others, which deals with quite a lot, everything from our foreign policy and our external media, propaganda, if you will, all the way to our connections with recruitment and citizen involvement. So the House of Others really incorporates a lot that deals with anyone outside of the Empire of Aeternia, anyone who's not specifically a citizen. And then to bring that all into the fold, to connect everything, we have Joey, who is now going to be part of the House of Solace as a noble, helping to develop that idea, the idea that the Empire of Aeternia needs to be a place that provides comfort, that provides solace, that provides benefit for its people internally. So when we are developing this House of Solace, that is the idea. We want to develop infrastructure in the House of Solace and talk about what it is that the Empire is building for its people. And then on top of that, we want to make sure that our people have access to those things safely, those things responsibly. So we are going to be developing that with somebody who is an expert in the field, somebody who is a trained EMT and is going to be able to advise us a lot on the safety aspects, a lot on the preparedness aspects that we're going to need if we want to support any amount of people. So that's going to be really important. We're going to have Joey spearheading kind of those plans, those safety developments out at Vitae before we have too much infrastructure built out there. And then we are also having a few other people that I would like to mention. First off, let me jump in and say hello to everybody. I have missed the chat up until now, but thank you guys for liking and supporting the stream. Olivia DeWitt says hi. Thank you so much for being here and supporting us. Olivia said, can I ask a question? Of course you can ask a question. Olivia, I am happy to answer it. Also, thank you for being our #1 chatter right now. You are our top fan as of the moment. Albanian, always good. Albanian said hi. And Peru, thank you so much, Albanian. That means a lot. You guys really helping to push the chat along. Lady Elizabeth, of course, our patron. Hello, great to see you. Thank you so much for visiting us with saying hello. Hey man, can I ask a question? Of course you can. Orlanette jumping in said hello. Renko says hey. Hey Renko, thank you for being here. Your ranking close to the top of our chat list. Let's say Lady Elizabeth jumping in and saying loving the house structure. We have a similar thing with our departments. Great to hear. It is absolutely a straightforward way to do something, especially for nations that are monarchies. Designing structures that are pretty formal in their delegation processes, pretty direct in their chains of commands and their authority structure. Really important. It allows for a lot of quick and immediate action. It allows for a lot of fluidness when it comes to developing a nation. We've talked about this in previous videos, but democratic micronations, for example, can be really powerful and can bring a lot of people together to support a cause, but maybe sometimes have difficulty actually with achieving certain short-term goals because of a lack of being able to be dynamic, kind of needing to go through bureaucratic processes. But each micronation has their own way that they kind of see their strengths and weaknesses and put those things into play for themselves. So that's just for monarchies kind of a good way of establishing, and that's something that we have done, and it seems as well our friends and supporters in Vetus Crafts have done. It's a very valuable technique, and so again, we had the House of Treasure and the House of Others previously for many years, and those both served our needs with regard to seeking to develop our economy, which is something that we've always been pushing for since Aeternia's inception, and we have slowly been able to grow. Although it has taken many different forms and has progressed in many different ways over the years, now we are at the point where we have a little bit of an economy going, something very, very small, some things that are not nearly as consistent as we would like. But we do have some things. And then we needed a way to market to people, a way to get out the word, a way to recruit Aeternians, a way to explain to other micronations what it is that we were, what it is that we're trying to achieve, what resources we have, and how we could assist them. And that became the House of Others, and that was headed by Grey Mare for a long time. And it was this thing that, with another citizen of ours, Stephen Vince, still master of the House of Treasure, those two ideas became the government of the Empire of Aeternia, and for a long time that was all we needed. So then developing into the House of Solace, now actually having two territories under our belt, we need some way to deal with local citizenry. We are still slow growing with that. We only have 4 local citizens as of the moment. So trying to actually, not including myself, that being the case, we are really trying to expand what it means to have a local citizenry and what it means to have events in the Empire of Aeternia, at Vitae, at Talon and Vine, and especially as we interface more with the public with our economic dealings. We would like to start doing more agriculture. We would like to start hosting larger events and being able to show off tours and things like that. So having those safety procedures, the House of Solace will work well with that and help us to push forward. That being the case, that is the general gist of our government structure. Again, we have Joey, who is going to be the first developing member of the House of Solace, which will be incredible. We will also have another citizen joining him in the House of Solace pretty shortly, and that will be our newest citizen, David Morris. David is a builder. You know, he is a guy who has worked with the Merchant Marine. He is a guy who is real tough. He is somebody who likes to get his hands dirty and is ready to take on new challenges. So he is going to be what we call the right of Talon. He's going to be our builder here at Talon and Vine. He's going to be helping us with renovating and kind of giving more access and more utility to many of the structures here that have been old or have been underutilized or have just been used for storage for a long time. So actually helping us to clear things out, clean things up, make the space more accessible and usable for our goals, as well as actually developing the fruits of our labor, the actual labor to receive the fruits, I should say, in developing our agriculture and taking care of our quail and expanding our flock. That's going to be really critical to David's role as well. So that'll be kind of in larger chunk tasks. Whenever David can come out and we have the ability to work together, we're kind of going to plan out days to have those larger group efforts and really get things done out here. So that will be, again, a part of David's role. So we will have in the House of Solace and these people who are creating that infrastructure for Aeternia, those who are developing our home base, so to speak, in our territories, developing what it means to be Aeternian here and what the aesthetics are, what the features and opportunities for Aeternians are. That is all going to be headed by, again, Joey Beck in Vitae and around Vitae. Again, a lot of planning and in safety design there, and then more physical work, more on the ground, boots on the ground development here at Talon and Vine by David. So again, that's more help than we've ever had locally, and is something that is super, super cool that we're getting people excited about, and we have 2 passionate citizens who are taking charge on. So we're really lucky for them. And they are going to be, again, that local root of the empire. Thank you, Tiff. Also, Tiff, with her cool bandana. No, I like it. She's hanging out. She's been helping to develop Talon and Vine Farm as well. It's been crazy. Yeah, we've been getting a lot of stuff. If you guys haven't checked out our Instagram, we have the garden bed up on there, our first raised bed for the Garden Nation. So incredibly exciting. We also have the sign up. So we are slowly improving our agriculture game.
And we just have to make the flags.
The flags, yes, we absolutely do. Speaking of, for Lady Elizabeth here, already one of our patrons, if you would like Vetus Crafts to be a part of the Garden of Nations, we would love to offer you a flag in the garden, our very first flag, besides the Empires. Oh.
Where's your finger?
Is it not connected? You and I, you're doing the beeps. Yeah, see, it's doing good.
No, now it's on noise canceling. Now it sounds much better. Now I don't have to listen to the whining of that AC unit.
That's true. That's true. Thank you, Tiff. Let me know
Or at
if
least
Tiff
it won't
just
be so
saved the
loud.
audio, guys. So yeah,
Your chair.
she did. She's occupying it. It's fine. That's been a lot of the development out here. Has been really trying to get that stuff started and trying to show that we're getting some efforts. So, Lady Elizabeth, I would love to offer Beatus Crass the first flag other than our own that will be featured on the sign for the Garden of Nations. This is going to be something that eventually we want to have a way for nations to invest and to support financially the Garden of Nations to get bigger. But you guys already being patrons, already supporting us for so long, it's obvious that you have helped plenty to make this happen. So we absolutely would love to offer you that, and I want to email you more about it. That being the case, for everybody else, if you want to get your flags to be a part of the Garden of Nations, definitely reach out to me, aeternianempire@gmail.com. Either myself or someone else part of the government will get in contact with you about it. On to the next thing. We talked about the House of Solace, that we're going to have a lot of local development built through. We now need to talk about the House of Others. So again, previously that was headed by Gray Mayor. He came in, he helped to develop that a lot and brought a lot of growth to that house. After his leaving, the House of Others was left vacant for many years. So now we have been, many years, the last year and a half, 2 years. So now we have been trying to develop the House of Others into something that is more condensed kind of in its role, more focused. And we are trying to still steer toward diplomacy and media, but that being something that is kind of encapsulated in that house. In a subcategory for that house, still not dealing with the full range of the house, but in a part of it, we are going to have a position for Dakota, one of our longtime citizens and someone who has just come back and taken up their citizenship in the Empire of Aeternia. Dakota is somebody who has wanted to be a part of our media for a long time and initially had helped us to develop a lot of our Discord community. Dakota was somebody, if you remember, maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago, if you were part of our Discord server, being the main admin, being really on top of like daily posts and updates and stuff. And so now he's transitioning to this more like face first role. He is going to be the Vine-born herald out of the being a noble in the House of Others. He's going to be our media personality. He's going to be somebody who, when I am not able to make these videos and these streams and stuff, not able to do some of our edited footage, Dakota will be able to come in and update you guys and say, hey, you know, they went out to Talon and Vine and they added more to the Garden of Nations, and here's what that looks like. Or, oh, Aeternia is working with this micronation to do this or that. Or, oh, we have this new plan that Joey's come out with out at Vitae. Or, oh, we're doing this local thing with an activist group around the area. All of those things are things that can be very snappy and get you guys updated and let you know what's going on with us in a way that would be more time consuming for a full video. Or that maybe we don't have the moment to sit down with a live stream and do. So being able to kind of stockpile that footage and give it to Dakota allows him to take that and actually have a nice, consistent format for you guys. So that should be something that helps to elevate our social media game, helps to get you guys more connected to what we're doing out here, and just overall supports the mission of what we're trying to do. It is hard enough to try to develop a country, and it's hard to explain what you're doing in any given minute. But we're incredibly lucky to have the community that we have here on YouTube. And so it's a disservice to you guys not to be able to have some kind of consistent updating. And so Dakota will be our champion for that. He will be our Vine-born herald, helping us to get those connections out to you guys. So hopefully that'll feed back into the Discord. If you guys have questions about what we do and who we are, Dakota should be able to take on some of that. What's up? That'd be cool. Tiff's asking about the color scheme. What do you guys think about this back wall being yellow? Tiff's trying to get a survey opinion. I think it'd be cool. We go with the. I figured either really bright or really like dark color for the land.
It's very dark and yellow, then you have to be very light and purple. Very dark and purple, and you need to go really light and yellow.
Faith.
But really, it depends on what these walls are. Because these are longer, and those should be the lighter colors.
I would agree.
Otherwise, you're making it really dark and cluttered.
Yeah. Feel tense. Yeah. I agree. Let me jump into this. Olivia DeWitt's asking if she can say something. Of course you can, Olivia. Ranko said, also wondering how big and powerful the empire is. So that's a great question, Ranko. We have two territories, one of which, our capital territory, Vitae, is 3.3 acres. So that's the size of it. That's a piece of property that we actually own, and it is 3.3 acres. It's completely undeveloped though, so it doesn't have water, electricity, anything like that. It has the framing for an experimental dwelling that we're building right now. It's effectively a shed, but that we're trying to get the roof on. So there's that, very little out there. So other than the land value, that's probably not a ton more to say. In addition, we have Talon and Vine Farm. This is our most recent territory. This is something that is a lot bigger. It's around 16 acres. And so it has a lot of resources. It has a lot of different things that we haven't even fully unveiled on the channel yet. So that will have to come for a full accounting later on. But to give you a scale of the empire and kind of the territory that it controls, around give or take 20 acres. So that being the case, there is a lot of opportunity, a lot of excitement for the empire to develop. And I think because of that and kind of the growing into itself that the empire is doing, we're starting to see a lot more local interest. We're starting to see a lot of people who have known of the empire but haven't actually wanted to directly become a part or engage, who are now starting to reconsider that and starting to get excited about it. So it's really cool to see. It's really exciting to see. And I think that needs to be factored in as well. A lot of micronations, including our own for a long time, struggle to build that base, that community of citizens who are really dedicated. And so we are starting to kind of form that together. It's always a question of who will be long-term, who will be, find their home here in the most secure way. But I am incredibly excited to see all of the opportunity that's coming our way, and just how much we can put that into use for people, how much that can actually be developed into the future that they are looking for. So that's the accounting, I would say. Around 20 acres of actual direct land that you can account for us controlling and operating. And then I would say the actual effect on people, the influence of the empire online is fairly decent, I would say, as far as the micronational community goes. We're not the biggest by far, but we're certainly not the smallest. And then going into the citizen impact, you have, we have 11 citizens currently. We have 11 citizens currently, including myself. However, we have very little of that power actually concentrated locally. We have, again, about 4 citizens locally, not including myself. So that being the case, you take all of that at what you will. I think to give a proper accounting of the strength of the Empire of Aeternia, how big and powerful it is, we need a proper method. Olivia DeWitt says, going to continue to figure out whether they can say something. We'll never know what Olivia wants to say other than if she can say something. Lynette said, I have a question for AP. What do you look forward to with the Southern League, or anything else you like to say on view? That's a great question. I would say I still don't feel like I really understand it or really know it. Some of the members I have seen have had concerning views concerning opinions, perspectives. I think the idea of a micronational organization is a really powerful thing, and that should be something that is supported. I think the ideas of the Southern League and these different groups can be powerful and can galvanize alliances and support for different nations. But at the same time, I err on the side of caution. I would say that I think any micronational organization is only strong as the weakest member of the organization. And so that being the case, it is very, very difficult to develop a consistently growing and building micronational organization simply because it is so difficult to develop a consistently growing and stabilizing micronation itself. If it's hard enough for you to grow and expand your own micronation, it is that much more difficult to grow as a group of micronations. But it is something that I'm excited to see. Ranko says, just ask him. Olivia wants to savor the moment, wants to really build up that question. Lynette says, getting citizens is not easy. Absolutely. You're 100% right, President Garza. Getting citizens is not easy, but it is something that is worthwhile. It's an effort that takes a long time, and you'll have people who come and go, and you'll have all of these struggles. But at the end of the day, the people who are going to stick around, the people who do really care about what you have to say and what it is that you're trying to build, will find a home there. And that's what's important. It's not about the fair weather friends, so to speak. It is about the people who are long term. And for us, that is nice because individually we have had citizens who are incredibly helpful and incredibly talented in one area, and then over time that citizen may get taken away. Life happens, and then the next person that comes in is incredibly talented, but in a completely different way. And so a lot of our efforts and goals kind of are shifted and adjusted by the talent that we have, by the groups of people who are supporting Aeternia at any given moment. So this is an incredible opportunity because it seems like there are a number of different talents, abilities, and people who can affect different areas of our micronation coming together all at once. Again, this is, like I said, kind of us trying to coalesce and bring together our government. So this is something that I'm personally really excited for. I don't want to get hopes up too crazy, but I think this is going to be big. Albanian says, so Emperor AP, how's your day going? It's going well. We spent a good while continuing to improve Talon and Vine Farm here. Again, we had been working with developing our first raised garden bed for the Garden Nations. We got one of our cabbage plants in there that was getting pretty rough, and then an eggplant that has a little baby eggplant on it right now that we transferred into there, and then 3 bell pepper plants. So those are all the first plants that have been saved, have been supported in the first raised bed for the Garden Nations. That's the one right behind our sign there, if you check our most recent Instagram post. And that is going to be the place that we grow from with the garden. So we have that one, it's kind of all the way in the corner of the yard, and then we're going to have several more that kind of line up next to it. That'll be our first set, that just all of the plants that we've previously planted for the Garden Nations, all the ones that we've had that have had to sit in containers so long because we didn't know exactly when we would be able to get out here and where those plants needed to be planted in the ground. We now have the ability to do that. So we're trying to transition all of the rest of those plants to raised beds. And with that first raised bed today, we actually got some straw and was able to put that down as kind of a cover to help keep the bed moist. Because one of the things that's nice about building such a large raised bed is that we can really get that soil soaked from all sides. But if you let that soil stay uncovered and just open to the air, it's incredibly hot here in North Alabama, especially in the middle of July. And it is also something that the sun is just so direct. We are on a farm, so it's a big field, it's open. There's a great big beaming ball of fire aiming down at the plants that you're trying to baby and protect. And so we had to get this white, this yellowish, bright, light color hay or straw and kind of tuck it in underneath and around our plants. So that way that moisture keeps in the soil. The soil has a slower time drying out and heating up to protect the roots of our plants. So we've got those first plants that we put in actually secure today, being able to take a little bit of a sigh of relief about those, and then continuing to expand. Our first goal when we came out here was trying to repair our quail flock. All of our quail got killed as soon as we got out here, so that was a big concern. And then going from having all of our flock killed to trying to repopulate our flock quickly, trying to repair the cage that got destroyed and ensure it's stronger so that it doesn't get destroyed again and kill all of our quail again, was a hassle. And it happened right when we moved in, so it was a big rush to try and get everything together. But we did that. We managed to get a new flock, the same amount, 5 quail. These are young, so they're going to take a few more weeks to develop, we think, but and to actually start producing eggs. But we have them in a nice, solid tank for them, pretty much. We have a quail tractor, something we can pull around the yard for them. But we have made that thing super sturdy and super strong, so nothing should be able to break into it. And so now that we've got our quail secure and we feel better about that, it's going into this garden. It's going into trying to make our first raised bed. Now that we have that set, we can start on future raised beds and kind of keep growing the garden and improving our ability to grow food. And to grow food as much of the year as we can. Obviously, the wintertime is going to be hard. We don't have greenhouses. We're not necessarily trying to invest in that. But, you know, it being North Alabama, we have such a long growing season that we should be able to do quite a bit, even now, late in the season as it is. So we are going to try and do that, see how much we can get out of this year, start with the proper infrastructure for next year with all these raised beds developed, and keep chugging along. So that's been my day, trying to think about those things, talking to some of our citizens who are trying to get prepared to take on their government roles, you know, getting support for all of those people, and being here, getting to feel a sigh of relief. This is something that Tiffany and I talk about a lot, but you know, I have grown up relatively poor. I grew up in a family that struggled to make ends meet, and so we always lived in apartments, always renting. It has been incredible to be able to get to be able to get a property that completely undeveloped, has absolutely nothing on it, still being ours, still being something that we feel like if we had absolutely nowhere else to go, could go there and feel safe and feel comfortable and feel secure and not feel like everything was going to be swept out from under us. And so that was powerful, and that was a big, powerful moment. To be here and to be, again, just incredibly fortunate, incredibly lucky to have been able to get this place, and for this place to be very slowly, very steadily trying to develop something, just a way for us to provide food for ourselves, a way to be able to provide for our citizens, and to start building a community space to actually do that, and to be able to connect to the place that we purchased originally. That's something I never expected. That's something that I am overly fortunate to have received and to be at the opportunity to develop. And I feel determined to develop that. I feel it is necessary to be able to provide that to other people. I enjoy being out here every day. I enjoy being able to see the benefits of my efforts and to feel like I'm becoming more and more secure and more stable, and you know, build on that happiness with someone as cool as Tiffany, and also to be able to meet new people and to connect with them and to bring them in on this, and to be able to show them how cool and amazing this place is.
Pretty sure it's just all the extra vitamin
That's true too. Tiffany said she's pretty sure it's just the extra vitamin D I'm getting, which is absolutely true. You know, say what you want. Getting outside and getting fresh air, being in a more natural environment does wonders for your mental health. It does wonders for you physically, and so yes, absolutely.
stronger.
I am. I've been working out. I've been pulling.
dirt.
buckets of dirt. Yeah, we've been moving big rocks and stuff and all sorts of things, big pieces of concrete and wood. So it's been a lot of physical exercise. We're lucky. We're super, super lucky. And we want to be able to provide some of that fortune that we've had to others. So that's what we're doing. We're developing a country. We're developing the Empire of Aeternia. One Lynette says, who has dual citizenship? I'm sure you know about the Empire of Aeternia. We don't have dual citizenship, but I believe you said War Lynette does have dual citizenship, which I think is cool. A lot of micronations do. A lot of nations, period, have the ability for dual citizenship. It's a pretty obviously popular policy to have in micronations. So it's cool to see. That is true. Tiffany's hitting up on a solid point. But instead, what the Empire of Aeternia does, the way that we do a similar thing, is instead of having a dual citizenship, we have the journeyer's license. So the journeyer's license is saying, hey, you may not be able to be a dual citizen of, say, the Empire of Aeternia and another micronation, but if you have a citizenship in another micronation, you can still contribute and be a part of the Empire of Aeternia, just not officially as a citizen. So what you can do is you can become a part of our quests, a part of our economic system. You can be able to get connected to private businesses in the Empire, as well as a lot of our active movements, a lot of our big involved pushes, and any team-ups that we do with other micronations or other groups through those quests. So all of that being the case, we have this system that we're trying to build for anybody who, you may not be the foreign dignitary of another nation, you may not be the leader of a nation wanting to be a diplomat and, create an alliance pact with the Empire. That may not be your thing. You may not want citizenship in the Empire, or you may not meet the requirements for whatever reason. We have a way, and we have this journeyer's license to be able to provide for anybody free of charge who wants to experience the Empire of Aeternia and who wants to reap the benefits of some of those non-citizen opportunities. Federation of Branco says, how big do you plan to get? Well, our ultimate goal is to be able to establish a recognized state. So we are not trying to have the territories that we own in the United States or other macronations be the things that we seek out as recognized territories. We're not trying to secede those territories by any means. What we are trying to do, thank you, Tiff. Tiff trying to help me fix my mistake in my shoe.
You kept standing.
I did. I had like the tongue tucked underneath the laces. An absolutely rookie mistake. I appreciate you, bud. Tiff has been a runner for years. She could never make that mistake. She's too good. We are trying to become a completely recognized independent state. So while we don't have the territories under the Empire of Aeternia in the United States or any other country that we develop them trying to be recognized, we're not trying to secede those. What we're trying to do instead is to use those for our economic benefit and for the support and infrastructure necessary to sustain our population. And what we want to do is to eventually develop territory that is outside of the jurisdiction of any other nation, one way or the other, so that that territory can be much more easily recognized. And with a previous economic and political and social, cultural establishment, we can be able to push those things out and just transition them to the new territory that we're able to develop and push for that recognition on. So long process in the works, going to be decades, generations, millennia after I pass, that will be continued on and that journey will keep going. But as far as in my life, as far as what I'm trying to do is get us as close to that goal as possible. And that means for myself, continuing to develop the empire, trying to get us a more stable economy, an economy that is growing, an economy that drives and makes there a large hunger for investment in it. We want to make sure that people are, chomping at the bit to get to the empire's economy and to be a part of it. So that's a big goal of ours. And then in addition to that, to be able to actually have those benefits, those economic abilities passed down to our citizens, being able to build their equity in the empire, being able to have them take ownership of different parts of that, being able to have them take charge of businesses that they run themselves, being able to connect to a lot of the infrastructure by way of libraries that we're trying to develop, so that people, if you want to develop a large project yourself, if you have something that you're trying to achieve, that all of that equipment and all of that expense doesn't fall on you directly. As a citizen of the empire's assets and resources can get funneled to your project and can assist you through the proper means and processes. So I hope that answers your question a little bit. We are trying to use this system of economic development and of citizenship and of eventual residency, where people come and live in the territories of the empire, building that and developing that into a system that allows us to fund our own territory development and our own independence. So that is the idea. It is going to be slow going. It is going to be a incredibly hard to achieve movement, and it's going to be something that takes a lot of people who never become Aeternians will need to sign on and support the idea of imperial independence in order for us to progress anywhere. So we have a lot further to go. We need to get our YouTube channel and our other social media a lot bigger. We need to make the world aware of who we are, what we're doing, and how much value we can provide to them. We can do this. We are the Empire of Aeternia, uniting the invisible, achieving the impossible, and going until we reach it. As we say, Aeternia forever. So I hope that answers that. Albanians, as I saw it last live. Yeah, absolutely. So that raised bed, that is our biggest project as of late. That has been our big push to get just that amount of dirt. I mean, it's a little over a meter. What would you say? Meter and a half. It's not 2 meters, because 2 meters is like 6 feet. It's like a meter and a quarter, maybe just a smidge over a meter. But it's a big volume, like a cubic meter of dirt or more. And so getting all of that dirt shoved into that box took a lot. We had a trailer that we pull behind our lawnmower that broke down. The wheels like ripped off of it and stuff. It's in the yard. We need to take a picture or video of that at some point to show people. But yeah, it mangled itself trying to pull that dirt on like the second or third load, trying to fill up the raised garden bed. So we have a new project to do fixing that. But the rest of the time we've been hauling buckets of dirt, like Tiff said, trying to build up our muscles and get that raised bed filled. So now we have that one. It was a Herculean effort, it seemed. But we'll put together the next one, and then maybe once we have the frame built, we can wait for one of those days where we're going to have somebody come over, David helping us out, or maybe some other friends, and we get a big effort together, and we all put a bunch of dirt in the raised bed and get that second one filled up. So you guys will have to let us know if you've seen any of our plants, which ones you think we need to save most, which ones you think we need to put in the raised garden beds that we're building next. C asked if there's an opinion that we have on milk. I'd say I like it in cereal. Not a big fan of it in the cheese version. I know for a lot of people that's like sacrilege saying that. And then I'm gonna go. This is a hard take. I know. I'm gonna go with not a fan of just drinking it. Not a fan of it. I'll eat it with the cereal, but I am not a fan of just drinking it straight. That's not my thing, personally. Tip, do you have a take on milk? Milk take? Tiff don't have a milk take. That's all right. I will say I've seen Tiff drink some milk, but yeah, from cereal, not straight. So come at us with your straight milk drinking takes. Albanian said hi.
You know someone who drinks 5 gallons.
Five. Oh, that's true. Yep. We sure do. We know somebody who is an absolute monster over milk, or at least they were. Yeah, like five in a day. Drank 5 gallons of milk in a day. It wasn't even like they were in a competition or anything. They were just on their milk game. Absolutely ridiculous.
I don't advise that. Calcium is good for your bones in moderation, almost like everything. If you have way too much calcium, it'll actually put holes in your bones. So it'll break them down. Don't go too hard. That person is probably going way too hard and probably will end up with holes in their bones later. And that's going to suck for them, but I hope they enjoy it while it lasts.
How do you get your skeleton to heaven? Holy bones.
Oh, holy bones. Just drink so much enough you get holes in your bones.
Got him. But yeah, I do hope that person doesn't end up holes in their bones. The bell? I didn't, but Tiff is hype about the bell. We were ringing the bell the other day. We got to show that off in a minute, but it's not on frame right now. It's not in the frame. Let me hit up a few more comments. Lady Elizabeth, thank you for still being here. It means a lot. She said, thank you. We would love to talk about your Garden of Nations. That's wonderful. I appreciate it. So I will email you about it. Dynamic says, what is your main building material? So this building is made out of large concrete blocks. The main building material in the Empire of Aeternia, I would say, is probably pallet wood. That's what that raised bed is made out of, although we've been trying to maintain some awareness about any potential chemicals or anything that are on the pallets by actually creating like a dividing liner so that our dirt that's in the raised beds actually is separated from the pallet itself. But that's pallet wood has been used for our raised beds. Pallet wood has been used in some of our other smaller building projects. For example, making this, I will aim down at it if I can, this chest right here that is still being built and still a little bit of a mess. Let me see if I can correct our and not have our camera fall over. Okay.
You're on the other side of it.
It's fine. It worked out. It did it.
But now you're not saying.
Now I'm not centered. Yeah. I would agree with that. Well,
Yeah, you were behind it.
I would like that. We got it. We fixed it. Hey, Ian says, glory to Aeternia. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Ian. That means a lot. And thank you guys for liking the stream as well. It helps to get more people in. Trains Gamer says, message retracted. Come on, Trains Gamer. We want to hear what you have to say. We got you. We're your friends. We'll support you. You don't got to retract your message. We're here for you. M say you look like a fish. Thank you, M. Who named you with just one letter? Trains Gamer says, hello from Eldonia. Hello, Trains Gamer. How are you? Plus, not only that, there are some fish that got like lips. They're like cool.
Yeah.
There are no fish.
Well, we were talking about the fish here, but like here, the plates.
Yeah, posture. Got 'em. Fish with lips.
Yeah.
Fish with lips. If we're fish, Tiffany is that really pretty fish with fish cans. That one that Oscar's like, kind of like his jaw drops to the floor.
It's the same type of fish. They're like the same fish.
No, not exactly.
She may be like a fake fish. She has the really like long, wide,
I think
like fins. Does she wear her like a dress?
I think she's meant to be green.
I guess yeah. Occasionally she does. When she gets mad, she